Hi, Martin here. Today I'm going to show you how to recalibrate your speedometer for your 99 through 04 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Had you changed tire size or gear ratio and your speedometer's off now, like mine is right now, went from a 245/65 to a 265/65. And we're off by around 5.8%. And everything I looked up online tells you got to take it to the dealership, and they got a machine down there they hook it up to and recalibrate it. Well, then I found a video that talked about it on a WJ, and this little tiny device from 12 O'Clock Labs, they kind of seem to specialize with motorcycles, and they have a universal device. And if you can find your speed sensor wiring, which I'm going to show you how to do for the WJ, you can solder these wires in here. You got 4 wires to hook up, and you can change this anywhere from 0.01% all the way up to 99.9%. So I'll show you how to hook this up. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, first of all, you need to find, here's your ABS control right here, and then the wires coming back from it. Now you can splice it right in here if you like. What we're going to do is come back here where the harness goes to the firewall, and I think this would be like one of the better places. So right in here is where I do all your soldering and finding the wires. 3 wires you need to find. One of them is this one right here, this black with the orange. That is a ground wire. I'm going to go ahead and cut this tape right here and expose some of these wires so we can pull this wiring up and get to them a lot easier. Okay, I've exposed the 3 wires here. This one's really easy to find. This black with the orange. It's a real heavy gauge, 14 or 12 gauge right there. It's technically your ground. And then we got the 2 other wires. These are small. These are probably 18 or 20 gauge. You have a green with a yellow stripe, and then this, I guess you can call it blue, with a pink stripe. And those would be the 3 wires you'll need to find. And you can see where I got that. I mean, there's your ABS control right there. You come back here, and this seems like a good place to get to these wires. There's not a lot of tape you got to remove. Now the only wire you need to cut in 2 will be the green with the yellow stripe. The other ones, just remove a small amount of insulation from the blue with the pink and the black with the orange. Alright, now you can see here I got the wire. Just used a razor blade, carefully cut the insulation off here on the black with the orange, here with the blue with pink, and cut the green with yellow stripe into and strip back a little bit of insulation. Okay, now I'm gonna got these wires on here. You take the black wire from your speedo calibrator to the black with the orange. This is your ground. Then the red wire, connect it to the blue with pink. Then with the green and yellow that you've cut, this is the one from the ABS controller. The white wire goes to it. Then the other end, you'll attach the blue wire to it. Connect it to the one going away from the ABS controller. Now we're going to test it before we solder it, just to make sure everything works properly. Okay, we got it wired in. I got it just sitting here right now. and you'll see this little LED light right up here. It's not lit at the moment, but I'm going to turn the ignition switch on. We should get a green-red flashlight. Indicates that it is installed properly and that it is ready for programming. Okay, now that we've determined that everything is in the right place, we'll go ahead and solder these into place. Alright, you can see I got those all soldered. Now, I did slide a piece of heat shrink over the one wire that we cut. So that way we can just slide this heat shrink right over. And on the other 2 wires, you could use a high quality tape, or even a liquid tape would work all right, and dab those up. And then we're gonna re-secure all the wiring back in here and get this programmed. Now it's time to get out the directions and do your programming. This is the button right there that you push. Just follow the directions, and you're going to be watching this LED for the number of flashes or green-red color change. I did the math on mine, and I am off by 5.7%. So I need to, my odometer reads 5.7% higher than I'm actually going. So I'm going to be looking for a red flash when I get into the programming mode, and that'll be my negative, because I'm on a minus 5.7%. Alright, with it all wired in, I got everything, all the wires here, secured back into the harness. I used a couple tie wraps right in here to secure everything. Heat shrink on there, and I did use liquid tape right there. I do like that stuff. You let it dry for 10-15 minutes and it's extremely durable. Now I'm going to just take this programmer, and there's this little channel right here where they got the wiring, and I'm just going to slide it into there. And it'll just rest right there. So if you ever need it again, you just pull it right back out and reprogram. Okay, I got my phone set up with the GPS there. I'm going to test how close this came. I subtracted 5.7% to get what I believe would be correct. And you can see that my phone there says 65 mile an hour, and so does the speedo. So it works perfectly. Now, another thing, if you're running a Super Chips Trail Dash 2, it shows, you can do a corrected mile per hour on this. You're going to need to return the tire size back to stock. Otherwise, it's going to be way off. And as you can see, it's only off by, looks like a mile an hour if you return it back to stock. I could probably trim the tire size slightly and bring that, back to a corrected mile per hour. Alright, well, I think that went extremely well. Very impressed with their product from 12 O'Clock Labs. I mean, compared to what this would cost you at a dealership, I mean, this was like $80. You go to a dealership, you can have this also done. They stick their special machine on it, and it's going to cost you around $200. And then it's just good for that one time. Should you change tire size again and your speedometer's off again, back again for $200. This one, You can reprogram it anytime you want. You clear the program that you put into it and put a new one in. Well, thanks for watching. I got other Grand Cherokee videos and the XJ Cherokee videos coming up. So please subscribe. Thanks again.